Las Vegas, the Athletics moving to Las Vegas, even though they're trying to get rid of that name, just go with the A's. I'm not going to let them do that. I'm not going to let them, Brad. I'm not going to let it happen.
Are they
The
trying
Athletics,
to drop the Athletics and just be the A's?
listen, I don't know
I
if
know
it's
they're dropping
official, but
Oakland. I know they're
yeah,
dropping
but I don't know
Oakland
if
when they
it's
go to
official.
Sacramento, but
But everything I've seen has been A's. I don't know.
I wonder if it's going to be like a transition to like an ace logo,
Yeah,
an ace card.
God,
Because I don't think they can be
that
the
would
aces since they already have the WNBA team as the aces,
right.
right?
They can't
And
do
then you've got
that.
the
Yeah,
Reno
you're
Aces
right.
as
Good,
well.
good
So,
call. Yeah, that's true.
but I don't know.
That's true. Uh-huh.
Different kind of aces there. But anyway,
Anyway,
fascinating.
couple things, just reminders
Whatever.
as we meander around.
We'll get
The
there.
stadium they're proposing in Vegas, 33,000 seats is all. It's a dome structure. It's going to cost $1.5 billion just to construct it. Now, Steve Hill is the president and the CEO of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. He is quoted as having said that they are rounding third and heading for home on this deal. That's what he said. A lease agreement has been proposed. It's a 30-year lease agreement. That's pretty common. But it has extended and flex options and whatever to move up to 99 years total on the lease.
Nice.
That is a long time. And it's interesting because the Raiders got a 30-year lease in Las Vegas and there were no other conditions for extension as far as I could see.
Hmm.
Fascinating.
It is.
This is the
So
fascinating episode.
this is interesting. So the Mariners did some renovations at T-Mobile a couple years ago, and one of the things they said when they did that was they're like, we don't want to ever leave this ballpark. We
Right.
want this to be the home of the Mariners and baseball in Seattle for another 100 years. Like we want this to be a Fenway Park in 100 years from now. So we want to maintain it. We want to make upkeep it, make sure that it's still a viable ballpark every single day that you come. We don't want it to fall into disrepair. And I wonder if that's like one of the things with this up to 99 years is they're like, we want baseball in Las Vegas. Once it gets here, we want it to stay. And
Yeah.
and part of that is renovations, upkeep, things like that as needed. We're willing to sign a lease agreement to keep you here so you don't have to deal with this really ever again.
Right.
Right?
And
That
neither
we
does
want,
anybody else.
yeah, that we want baseball here and we want it here to stay.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. Because,
Which
and
I
the other thing is
like.
you can't up and leave a team or leave a location as easily if you have a lease agreement in place because you got to, at the very least, buy it out
Right.
or negotiate some kind of buyout. So
Yep. Yep. Well,
I like
if
it.
anything, we've seen this debacle with Oakland has ripped everything to pieces for the fan base, and baseball is in all kinds of disarray because of it as a whole, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm in favor of a longer lease, not knowing what the other broad implications are for the city or the what, like, I don't understand what other the second, third orders of effects would be. But what I do know is that if we can avoid what's going on with the A's in Oakland right now, and this gets us there, that's probably a pretty good thing.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at.
I agree.
That's my initial
Yeah.
response.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
they
And I
had,
think some of, oh, go ahead.
well, I was just going to say they had a meeting. They proposed the lease, and they still need a non-relocation agreement, which touches on what we've been talking about. They also need a development agreement. So the next meeting is scheduled for 17 October. They're hoping to have it all wrapped up and approved on December 5th. There is another meeting later in December, a couple weeks later. They call it a release valve, just in case something it gets hiccup. There's something along the way, but yeah,
Or
that's
something overflows. Yeah, I get that.
yeah. Who knows? Yeah, but that's the plan. So does that to you, Brad? Does that feel like rounding third?
It does. I think having terms of a lease agreement in place helps. I know nobody's signed or agreed to anything, but I think
Right.
the fact that they're like, hey, we would like to have you for 30 years. I don't think the A's are going to be like, well, no, what if in like 20 years we want to go? You know, like, I don't
Yeah, they're
think
not
they're going to
going to
do
do
that.
that.
At
No,
the,
no, no.
like, I wouldn't think so. But I mean, we've seen professional teams be in cities shorter than that period of time, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Yeah.
but I think that baseball wants to be in Vegas and wants to stay in Vegas. Well, they obviously they want to be in Vegas, but I think they want to stay in Vegas,
Yeah.
and I think that'll help.
There are still a number of problems and questions about public funding, private funding, equity partners, and things like
Always.
that, how they're going to, get this money together. But so far, this is what we have. That's the update.